Doing numbers like I'm MJ and Dash Jackson and Jordan. Boy, I'm killing y'all, y'all boring. Time to give the world what they really need. That's the HOMIE.
All right. Good afternoon, Internet. This is Darius Lester with Mammoth Money Mindset. Come on now. And this will be our first segment. You know what? All right, you ruined it. All right. Good evening, Internet. This is Darius Lester with Mammoth Money Mindset. And this is the first segment of our interview series titled Take Your Time. And I have with me Kerr, who is a great business owner, really good friend. Very happy she took time out of her busy schedule to come and speak with me this evening. Kerr, would you mind introducing yourself?
Hey, y'all, I'm Kerr. Very good friend of Darius and a business owner, like he said.
Mm-hmm. Big time, big time. Okay, so I mean, we can just get right into it, right? So we've established you're a business owner, veteran, right? I met her through the military. She's also a mother, homeowner, two beautiful daughters, right? Who she actually has taken upon herself to bring them with her whenever she does some of her business stuff to try to raise them up as well. I think that's really cool. It's something I would hope to do with my family, whenever they get alive. So could you talk about that? Like how was being an entrepreneur, a business owner, and being a mother? How's that worked out?
Yeah, sure. So that's wearing many hats, right? And it is hard. It is just about prioritizing your time. Like right now, my business is pretty new. I've been doing it for 3 years. I buy mobile homes, sell, fix and flip. So it's still in that ground stage where you're trying to figure out things, get things right. And being a mom is a full-time job, so it's never a downtime. It's someone's always missing out on time, whether it's my kids or my business, and you feel both struggle to some effect. So it's tough being a mom and being a full-time entrepreneur. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's doable. Like you said, I take my kids along with me when we do have time, just so they can see the ins and outs, see how hard I work. So when I pass it down, my hope is to get it to a place where they won't be dragging it out the mud. They'll have a fully established business that they won't have to do the hard work, but I want them to see the ins and outs. So when they get there, there's nothing that could come out the woodworks and scare them. So,
Right. That's real cool. I like that. So, seems like you're very family oriented. Where are you from originally? Where are you and your family from?
I'm from John Rock. We're from, I was born in Jamaica. My family is from Jamaica. Grew up in Brooklyn. But spent most of my childhood summers, stuff like that, back home in Jamaica. So, we claim Jamaica.
Okay. That's good. That has to be a big culture shift. How has it been, coming from Jamaica and, trying to live this American lifestyle? What's upsides and what's downsides of it?
Well, I mean, I've been here in America for a very long time. So most of my what I would consider norms is more Americanized. The biggest shift is just my accent. But it's good because it strikes a conversation. People want to know where you're from, why you say words the way you do. I'd say the biggest culture shock is moving from Brooklyn to Florida. It's two different worlds. It's very different. So that I can speak more of. Jamaica is more of, more for me. It's more of a language, food, dancing. I can find the same thing here. And like I said, most of what I remember is life being here. So the biggest culture shock would be moving to the southern part of the United States.
Right. Do you have now that you've lived in both, like the northern and the southern part, do you have a preference?
I mean, I don't particularly like the winter. And I would be biased if I say I prefer here, because now that my life is different, going back up north is a very different lifestyle.
Right.
You can, you can do more stuff that are the finer things up north. However, people wise, I prefer, or just culture wise, I would rather be up north, because I can more gravitate to them, or I am more alike with them, and I kind of it is more of a we love everyone or we hate everyone. Everyone is on the same level. It's more hate, but it's like we hate everyone equally. It's not
Sure.
I hate you because of something else. Like it, like I feel on this side.
Oh,
So
okay. I got you.
I would say up north, but it's cool down here too. It's easier for home ownership and affordability. Cost of living is cheaper, and
Definitely. All those good things. I personally think Southern people are better, but I could be biased.
True.
But I've made a lot of friends with people that have come down from New York and New Jersey. Honestly, a lot of my business type friends ended up coming from there. I don't know what it is in the water. I don't know what y'all are bringing down from up there down here, but y'all, most of the ones I've met are like really, I appreciate them because they're more go-getter, I would say. Like I would say like us Southern people, we do stuff, but we're more chilled out, laid back. Like, yeah, I'll try to do this. I get a house in a couple months. I'll do that. Try to flip this over the next year or so. Y'all come down. You're like, all right, I need to get this. You didn't get this? Fill out this contract. All right, we're gonna do this. This should be done by next month and a half. Then we're gonna run this up to 3 more. And I'm like, okay, sure, but just relax. It's cool. We'll get there when we get there. But it's nice to have people like that. Because, if everybody's doing stuff on slow time, then stuff is never getting done. But if everybody's running at, 50, 100 miles an hour, then it's like stuff can get messed up or overlooked. So I like having a balance with different people.
Sure.
So that's cool. So let's just let's get into the business, right? And this is helpful for me because I don't really know everything that you've done. So these are all like genuine questions. So like, I know your main thing is mobile homes, right now, but I would also like to know, business wise, outside of like a 9 to 5, what all have you done, over the past however many years before you landed on mobile home and was like, ooh, this is where I can make all of my money at?
So, I mean, mobile home was my first introduction into, starting my own business. Before this, I just thought being a business owner is not for me. Everyone was on that wave where it's like, that's how you get financial freedom. You got to start doing it for yourself. And I was just like, yeah, no, I don't want to worry about all that, because I just couldn't find something I actually really like. But I would do odd things like before. I was active duty military. While I was doing that, I would do stuff like Instacart or, do whatever it is on my spare time if I do have time, because I was trying to get some form of financial freedom.
Right.
And then I just bumped into mobile homes. I was bored and I was living in a rental property and I wanted to fix stuff. I like doing DIY projects, and it gravitated from doing furniture. And I wanted tear walls down and I want to make it everything an open concept and paint people's wall, but I couldn't do that. So I said, okay, what's the cheapest thing I could find to do this to? And then I said, oh, look, RVs are pretty cheap in the area. So I started looking into that, and really it was just YouTube. I was just scrolling through YouTube trying to figure out how to do plumbing and electrical, even though I had nothing to do it on. And then I bumped into some what they call themselves coaches on how to get into mobile home business, and really that's how I started. But other than mobile homes, I'm venturing into right now. I am venturing into residential assisted living facilities. That's my next big move that I'm working on. and it feels just like mobile home. When I want to do something, it just burns this fire inside of me, and it's just like I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I don't really think about stuff. I'm not a person that weighs the pros and the cons. Really, I just decide I like it. I think it could work, and I jump off and I make it happen somehow. Is it always good? It's probably not, but it gets me started, and I'll, somehow learn from my mistakes. But other than mobile home, it's just been mobile home and the assisted living facility that are main businesses. But inside of mobile homes, I do quite a bit because mobile homes, it has a lot of different ways to make money. It's all different businesses. You have people that are full-time flippers, you have people who are full-time wholesalers, and if there's anyone that's going to be in the audience or watching this that don't know what wholesaling is, it's just basically finding a seller that is willing to sell their home that is probably not not where it needs to be to go on the market, like for the regular retail buyer. So it's not Zillow worthy, I would say. So everyone, if it goes on Zillow, everyone is going to look over it. I can't live in that right now. So it's getting that seller under contract at an agreed upon price, and then finding a cash buyer that will buy that contract with a small profit, sometimes small, sometimes it's large for you, which is the middleman, which is a wholesaler. And that's how I started. That's a big thing in mobile homes. It's a big thing in single family homes. It's a big thing in real estate. And then I ventured into flipping mobile homes. And now it's like I said, the assisted living facility. But like I said, I've ventured into different stuff with mobile home, moving them on trucks. Oh yeah, in the trucking business, I almost forgot about that. Maybe that's what you're getting into. Yeah, so moving mobile homes, that's a big business as well, and that's strictly transportation. It's nothing to do with being a mobile home investor. It's just transport. It's just like owning an 18-wheeler and hauling a load. So, yep.
Very cool, very cool. Lots going on, stuff you don't even remember you do. So, and I mean, honestly, I think I would say you were the first person to ever even bring up wholesaling to me. I didn't know what that was. Obviously I've heard of real estate before, and I know that there is a market for, mobile homes, but me, just like I'm sure plenty of other people, we just call them trailers, and we're like, that ain't for me, so I don't got to worry about any of that. So I think it's really cool that some people have actually taken the time to get into that niche market, and make money off of it. Why not? So that's cool. Yep. Most people, jump into the wholesaling, use that to learn about flipping, get into flipping. And some people will do, buy and holds and stuff like that from there, and just scaling up. Yeah. So I thank you for bringing that to my attention, because since then, now so much stuff I've researched and looked up, I'm like, oh, this is not new. Everybody has been doing this for many years, and I just was not privy to it. Right. So it's a whole bunch of stuff you just never know until you know, and then it's like, dang, could have been doing all this stuff for a while, and
a very long time, huh?
Yep, I just been over here chilling.
Yeah.
Okay, so something with mobile homes, right? Just I guess the normal thought behind it, we normally think there's a certain demographic of people that deal or live in mobile homes. You yourself are a Black female lesbian woman. That all seems like not mobile home traits. Right. So how was it for you, like getting into wholesaling, going out and talking to all these different people? Some people may or may not be afraid of being, persecuted or judged by to make your real estate deals happen. How was that?
Right. Well, for me, personally, I haven't. It's more, I think about it more than it will happen. You can tell when someone feels that way, walking into somewhere when someone looks at you a certain type of way, but I've never had it outright in my face.
Right.
But again, when we walk in, we're talking money. And when money's on the table, a lot of people, they're usually, by the time I walk in, they're in a situation they need to get out. It's always a situation. It's always finding that why. So usually I'm on the phone with them or over emails. So when I put a face to them, it's usually why. And after a year or so, maybe I've been proactive to figure out how people think. And I don't want to put a demographic to it because it's different kind of people, but for the most part, you're right. There a certain type of people live in mobile homes. But I'm very proactive. So, and it's kind of embarrassing to say that I tell them that I have a boss and I give that boss a name. It's a very Caucasian name. It's Mike. So it's me walking in. How I find it, to answer your question correctly, I find that if it seems like it's me, if it seems like me, a Black lesbian female, have all that money to walk in and offer someone, if they need 120K for their home, that's worth more, they're not as comfortable selling it to me. So I go under the pretense of having a boss. So I'm essentially working. So I'll introduce myself as, they'll talk to me over the phone for weeks, months sometimes, and then I'll go in and I'll introduce myself as my middle name and tell them I'm here to walk the property to give my boss the information that I found. And then they'll deal back with me over the phone or email, and then I'll just be the face a lot of times. I mean, I have people that go out for me now, if it's a far area, but if it's within my reach, I'll still go. But I find that I secure deals better like that. And maybe it's a mind thing. Maybe it's just me being cognizant that these people are out there. But I feel like just not showing who you are or not making people aware of someone that looks like you and thinks like you is making those strides, or have that amount of capital to hand them over, get them out of your situation. They're more comfortable with that. And for me, it's business. It's just money. When I get home, my kids live in a good home, and we're not in the situation I just bailed someone out of. So I don't take it personal. But I've figured out a way to navigate on how to make sure I make that money and not get caught up in being too emotionally invested in someone's property that they're already emotionally invested in, and they think how they think, and I can't do anything about it. So
no, that's good. Honestly, I think that's pretty smart. Because I mean, even me myself, just over the past couple of weeks, I've been trying to look at like a couple, beat up properties and stuff. And some people, their families just own a whole bunch of, real estate, and their grandfather died, so they inherited the company and they don't even use it. They just pay the taxes on it every year because they just have to. And I'm like, ooh, I could do something great with this. But then I'm trying to reach out to them, and it sucks because it's not like I want to believe that people will treat me differently, being a Black man, or something like that. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't in the back of my head. I'm like, ooh, I know I'm about to go, speak with this, maybe white woman or something like that about purchasing this home. And I'm like, is she gonna feel some way about me just because of, how I am or how I look? So I'll double and triple think before I even call or before I send a message. Like, all right, how can I come off as friendly as possible, as little, aggressive as possible, just to, it's just a whole bunch of second and third thoughts that I'll just have mentally, just because of life, the way other things and stuff has happened to other people has had an effect, on me and how I go about business. Absolutely. But yeah, like you said, at the end of the day, it's just money. For the most part, money transcends a lot of that stuff. Somebody can be the biggest bigot racist in the world, and you're like, hey, I'm about to give you this $100,000, and they're like, I mean, one of the good ones. I don't, stuff will switch up, when business is happening. So
it'll still happen. I mean, I've got the cops being called. Well, I've been threatened that the cops were going to be called on me. And I mean, it doesn't phase it, wish it should. I mean, but it that I still stand up. I still basically stand my ground and tell that person what I'm telling them. But it more happens from because the situation I'm talking about, to be more frank, a realtor actually said they were going to call the cops on me. I walked into a property that it was an estate sale. I wanted to buy it cash. I knew the value of it. I was just like any other cash buyer. And when I walked in, I had the code for the lockbox. And when I walked in, when I got to the property, there was a gentleman there, and then his realtor came, and then they noticed I had the code for the lockbox, and it was just a whole fiasco. They called the company that was selling the house on whatever my description was. She went in her truck. I walked out to my truck. She locked her truck, and we were talking about a truck that's probably 2000. It has no value to it.
Right.
Anything inside has value to me to it, but she locked her truck when I was walking up to my truck. And then she called a realtor which then called back and said, I have to leave. They're going to call the cops. So it was a deal I didn't get. I could figure out what I was doing. They knew I already sent all my documentations in. I sent them my proof of funds. They knew it was a bank account. But in that sense, it was coming from me, my name, I guess my face, and then my bank account with proof of funds was there. And now the face to it is a Black woman. But a short haircut and polo shirt. So it screams what it is. And I think that made her uncomfortable, because in that moment, she wasn't the one that was going to get the bulk of the money. She was working on behalf of someone else. So in that moment, money didn't level the playing field. I was what I was. And that's all she saw for her. And things like that, it's going to happen. It's just one thing. And this is how I look at it. Every time I run into an inconvenience, and this is why my market is such a niche market, because no one wants to deal with that. So for that one situation that happened, 10 other investors dropped out. And not saying it's good, but my market is not a saturated market. I'm one of very few mobile home investors that do it the way I do it. And it's not a market that is, you can have it pen on paper. There's no one with a board that could tell you this is going to happen, because I've done plenty of flips and I've been successful on each. And every time I go into another mobile home, there's something else that I've never heard of or I've never seen. And it makes a lot of people shy away from it, because it's just not a lot of research. It's not a lot of people that see any value in it. So like small inconveniences like that, I have to remind myself, like, this is why a lot of people don't do it. And this is why it has the return it has, because no one wants to deal with telling them the cops is being called after you have my bank account, a screenshot off my bank account, my bank statement. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. But yes, you do have to look out. It's something you do have to be cognizant of. It's something that you might want to just let them think it's not you. And you know what I mean? I drive home and it's just something. It's something weird. Even the community that I live in, I know how I'm looked at. How when I drive in my driveway, people look at me, because it's older people, it's people that don't look like me that live around me. And how dare you afford what we've been working so long, or my kind should live in? How dare you? You get that feeling every day. But it is what it is. We're gonna live here, and I'm gonna enjoy it. It's mine. And
beautiful house.
Yeah, too bad.
House,
you know what I mean?
Neighborhood.
No, it's just one of those things.
You work for it, you deserve it. That's good. So I guess with all that in mind, you still do it, right? You still deal in mobile homes. I assume there has to be a reason. So if you don't mind me counting your pockets a little bit, what would you say, like, what's one of the like best deals that you've finished or closed on as far as like mobile home real estate goes, like just to give people like an idea of like the dollar amounts that you deal with?
So it all depends what my exit strategy will be. And when I say that, am I going to flip the home? Am I going to take it from nothing and I wish I could figure out a way to show photos, but the photos are on my phone. How I take it from nothing and bring it to something, so someone, a real retail buyer could walk in and they think, oh my goodness, I can see myself in this, or I'm just going to wholesale it and sell it to another investor or to a park owner that's going to then move that mobile home into their park. So it just depending on my exit strategy. When we're talking about wholesaling, on average, you make about 5 to 10,000 on wholesale, not less, 10 to 15,000 on wholesaling. On a low wholesale deal, you'll make anywhere from $5,000. But average is about 10 to 15. That's a sweet spot. But I've made upwards of 40K on a wholesale deal. It just depends on why that person needs to sell, how much are they selling for, and how much is someone else willing to buy that home for.
Right.
So you can make a lot off wholesaling. Wholesaling is, I would tell anyone in any part of real estate that wants to get in, is if you have no capital, because then I have something else to talk about that we are gonna bump into, is getting financing. You're not gonna walk into a bank and someone say, oh, 30-year-old Black female, I'm gonna give you $2 million to start. It's just not gonna happen. My credit score is great. It's probably 790, somewhere there, almost 800. It's never got there. I mean, I just think they know how to rig that system. But I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what your credit is. You're never going to walk into a bank and get that kind of money. So you're going to need to start from somewhere. You're going to need to be able to show them some kind of money, how you made it, for them to believe in you. And that's for anyone. So yes, on wholesaling, you can make about 40K. I've made about 40K off a deal. I'm working on a deal right now that I'm about to close, and probably in 2 weeks, and it made about 30K. But I mean, I've waited on that deal for almost 9 months. And then on flips, when the market was real hot, we were making about 120K off a flip. Right now, sweet spot, you want to be at that 70 mark, a comfortable 70 to take on that much of a work. But it's, you know what I mean? It's just the market. It goes up, it goes down. And
so just for people that maybe haven't dealt, real estate stuff, when you say 70%, what are you referring to?
I said 70K for
70K.
For
Gotcha.
a comfortable amount after realtor brokers get their fees out, and so I'll give you my last deal, the last deal I closed. We bought it for 145. It was a huge mobile home on an acre of land. And I knew at the time the next door, 2 doors down, the home sold for 260. But it was a couple of months ago, and it was the same size. It was the same size property, but the house didn't look like I would make it. But I was still, so I knew my after repair value is around 260. It would definitely appraise for 260, but I could push it a little higher if I make it really nice. So I bought it for 140. So after closing, probably 145. Just so you see, kind of putting a picture of numbers out there. And I put about 25K in it. So we're at, what is that, 170, and then it sold for 279. Oh, and I put and I bought an RV and I put it on. I bought the RV for 8K. It's rural, it's a rural area, and people out there like to have RVs. So I'll throw in a few little stuff. I like to make it nice. I like to think of them like, okay, what would they like? If they didn't want the RV, I would have took it off and put it on another property, but they didn't. So when we look at it, just shy of about 90K in profit. That was the last deal. So just numbers wise, and I do a lot. I stage the homes. I just don't, I put things that normal you wouldn't see in trailers. I put hood range, the exhaust range are really nice ones. I give them nice stainless steel stuff. I give them baseboard, trim, stuff that you don't see in regular trailers. So when you walk through the front door, if I don't tell you it's a trailer, a lot of people don't know. And I've posted a lot on TikTok. Well, I'm starting to try to post it on TikTok. I do. What's my TikTok? Call me Kerr. Call me Kerr. If you ever want to see, when I do find a time, I ask my daughter to edit videos, and she'll edit the videos and post it up there. But just numbers wise, there's a lot of money in mobile homes. It's going to take a lot to start to make the big bucks, but there is a lot of money in them. in real estate, mobile homes specifically.
I like that. And shoot, it's funny that you say that. I mean, I think that could be a really good TikTok channel because a lot of mobile homes end up looking better than a lot of houses, which I think nobody normally would ever just think that, unless you're already in the business.
Right.
Because there was a guy, like when I moved here, I bought a house and then I was getting a whole bunch of used furniture and stuff for my home because I'm cheap. So the guy, he was actually Honduran, which is funny because I just came from Honduras. But I went over to his house to pick up like a dresser and a bed frame or something, and he lived in a mobile home, like way out. He had maybe like a acre and a half or something. And I went into his home, gorgeous. Like, and he told me he did it all himself, which is insane. But I mean, yeah, if they had the big, all the barn doors sliding, his kitchen was crazy. Everything stainless steel. I think they had like a chandelier in there, some junk. I was like, yeah, like a chandelier inside of a mobile home, like y'all doing it like that. He had that. He went and built a deck off of the side of the mobile home, like just beautiful, crazy looking stuff. And I was like, this is really nice. Like this is way nicer than the house that I just spent, like $200 and something thousand on. And
Absolutely.
he told me, he was open about it. I think he told me he paid like, I don't know, maybe 40-ish for it or something. And then he did all the renovation. He's like, I tore down all this stuff, changed all these walls, put up everything, rebuilt that whole kitchen and dining area, the living room, everything. And I was like, I see that. I believe every word that you're telling me because this is crazy. And all in, he ended up around like 100,000 or something. And I'm like, that's wild.
And especially in a market like this where home prices have gone so high, when you think about young families or people just starting out, what can they afford on a 40 or 50K annual income, and what will they be approved for? And it's just hitting them, especially in Florida. Mobile home make up about 30% of residential homes in Florida, and it's like, okay, how do you, the cost of living is high, who is looking out for the people like I was, 2 kids on an enlisted income? What can I afford? Especially when the market went to where it was, or it kind of still is, because the prices out here is still high. The sale is slower, but the prices have not come down at all. So how do you tell a person that makes 50K or 65K combined that you cannot buy a house, so you have to go out there and pay $2,500 in rent, which makes no sense? So it's just that it's a lot of times it's a starter home for families. A lot of times it's a retirement home for people on a fixed income. So it's just like, can I provide a market of affordable housing, but it looks great and it's safe and it's clean? You know what I mean? It's you get rid of all the things that you don't want and put in nice stuff, because people are people, not because combined they make 40K or 50K doesn't mean they shouldn't live in a house that looks great, or they should always spend their days in a mobile home park. Whatever the case is, just some kind of home ownership, so they can start building wealth for them or their family is my main goal. And I try my best, if I can find a house for a great price. My motto is, can I keep it under 200K when I'm done making it nice? Can I make a profit to take home to my family, to keep my business running, but make it an affordable house where someone that makes not what these people that make doctors or lawyers or CEOs make someone who works at a regular job can go to a mortgage broker and say, this is what I make, but I need somewhere for my family. And it's a big part, is providing affordable housing for people. So it's a good part of mobile home as well.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think it's really good. Not really good. I think it's the best when you can have a business that provides for you and your family, but also helps people, at the same time. Like I don't it doesn't really matter what it is, if I could be making, millions and millions of dollars, but if it's hurting people or like not doing anything helpful in anybody's life, it doesn't, I'm not gonna do it. It doesn't fulfill that other
Right.
half of
Right.
what's needed.
Right.
So that's good. I like that.
Mhm.
So with all of this, right? A lot of people don't do this, right? A lot of people, no shame to it because it's very necessary, but a lot of people will, graduate high school, find a okay 9 to 5, and just like, all right, I'm gonna stick this out for a good 50 to 40, 50 years. I don't know. And then cool, I'll get whatever check they want to give me monthly. And it's like, all right, I did it. I did life. It's a lot riskier. It's a lot harder. You have to go out and learn things that you don't already know about. It's risky. It's hard. You have to get outside of your comfort zone to do it. But you do this, right? And you have done this. You've strove to do more of it, and you're planning on doing even bigger and riskier things, right? What pushes you to do that? Like what in you makes it believe like, all right, Kerr, let's go do this. This may not work out, and this may cost me a whole bunch of thousands of dollars, and I might mess this up, but nope, I'm still gonna go ahead and do it. Like what pushes you?
I don't like PT. No.
I know that.
No. So a big thing is, so my main thing in life, even when I joined the military, it was I had my oldest daughter at 18. So right now she's about to be 13, and I feel like 20. So we're like right there, like sisters. So my whole thing is providing a life for them that I never dreamt of. And in that, it's providing me a life that I've only ever dreamed of this. I can't, 5 years ago, I can't imagine just getting up one day and saying, oh yeah, matter of fact, we're going to Mexico tomorrow. You know what I mean? So it's financial stability is great. It feels great. Being able to afford things that you actually want is great as well. And not thinking, oh, if I buy it today, I have to work an extra 5 hours or 6 hours on an hourly job. Is great. But my main thing is it's my children. I want them the current climate, they're already Black, they're already females. I want them to have one less worry, and what can I change for that? And it's making sure that while they worry about that I cannot change. I can change how their finances look. So it's already a couple of doors they don't have to kick down, because mommy already did it. So that's my main goal. I hate crawl spaces. If maybe I probably have to go in a crawl space tomorrow, and on my way in, I feel like quitting, like this is my last mobile home every time. But I do it because then I come home and I remember, okay, I like where I'm at. I want more, and I want more for my children. And that kind of keeps me going. I don't like being told get to PT at 6:30. I don't like that. I don't like not having anything to do, and I still got to stay till 4 or 5. I just don't like it. I can't.
Yeah,
and crazy. I don't want to go back to that. And don't get me wrong, sometimes, and I'll be out my house at 6 earlier sometimes, and I still don't leave wherever I am till 7 p.m. It's 13-hour days. I work. This week was a six-day week, some days, or 7-day week. I just don't have the time. I forget to text back. I have to make sure I tell myself I have to take time for myself. I have to take time for my kids. So it's a lot more work, but I enjoy doing it. And it just so happens that while I'm enjoying doing it, I'm providing a comfortable lifestyle for my children. And hopefully I can leave a legacy. If I'm working on leaving a legacy for them, if, God spares my life. So that's my main drive.
Okay. That's good. I like it. So I guess within growing this drive and moving towards things, was there any like literature, any type of services, any mentors videos, anything, like what helped you gain the information that you needed to start succeeding the way you are?
So I do audio books now while I drive, but they're very good literature. I mean, everyone, I think a good starter book. I used to, when I was active duty and I had my troops, I bought each and every one of them. What's that book? Well, you read it. I told you about it. What's the book called? I'm having a moment right now.
Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I went into
What?
Barnes and Noble and I picked up 10 and I gave it to everyone that, because it turned on the light. It turned the lights on for me. And
The supervisor.
yeah,
Oh.
I probably not for military, because I was like, just read this. You probably be able to get out next year. Just
Fair. But
it,
hey,
it's good and bad, but
it's good to have
it turned the
options.
lights on for me, and I wanted that for other people. I wanted them to know more, that it's more out there, and we won't know until we know. You won't know until we get access to that information, or until we see someone that's actually doing it. Because I read the book and still I was like, okay, maybe this guy's lucky. Maybe, you see a lot of interviews, like someone will watch me. I do a lot of this sometimes, and people will watch me and write to me, and then I'll give them all the information and they never do it because they never see someone they know or personally doing this. So that has been a lot. I do have mentors, and not paid mentorship, because I mentor them a lot too. It's been people that's just in real estate that we just became friends, and over time I'll ask questions. I ask a lot of questions. I go on a lot of Facebook forums and or groups, and I'll ask questions, and I'm always giving up information. I don't have a course. I don't want to do a course. I don't want to charge people for learning something. So I'm always giving out information that someone can find useful. And I think that has made it so people are okay with giving me back information, and I've gained mentors like that. And there's also another really good book if you do get into real estate or anything that you have to negotiate. It's called Never Split the Difference. It's probably my third time I'm going to read that book. It's just about negotiating and how you stand your ground with doing that. And I guess it's a book about manipulating how people think. So you manipulate how they think. So you make them think they have the upper hand at all times, and you'll get your way with that. That's a really good book as well. But networking and just finding out different ways. I see someone doing this, but how can I do it a little bit better? Or even though this has been working for this person, or it worked for me, I made money with it. What can I offer to make it a little bit better? Now, every time I do a flip, my aim is to make it a little nicer, maybe on the same budget or a little bit more, but my aim is make it a little nicer. A mistake I made on the inspection, the 4-point inspection, how do I not make that mistake again? You know what I mean? So it's just basically making it better. Networking. There's this guy, his name is Calvin. I don't know, AHIA. That guy really, he's very helpful. He has a course about wholesaling mobile homes. That was very helpful. It's very reasonable. At the time it was $500. I don't know how much it is right now. He doesn't inflate what you could actually make. What he says is what he's doing. There's a lot of courses that they'll say they made $800K or something ridiculous. After you get into the business, you'll say, yeah, no, you didn't make that off that. But I feel like he's genuine with what he's saying, and his course was really good. Other than that, you got to figure out marketing and taxes and taxes and taxes
Right.
and taxes.
Yep.
Start making it, and then you start. There's nothing called a tax return anymore. I haven't. Gone are the days where.
Yep. It was nice
But
back in
now
the
it's
day.
my biggest fear is
It's like,
around
oh
April.
God,
Yep.
tax time again. Oh, okay. Let's
Yep.
get all this stuff together. All right, everybody.
So it's a lot of things that we as a community we really have to come together and teach each other, because we don't know. And the information that people know, groups, other groups know, have been privy to. They've been learning this since they were babies. We just don't know. No one tells you these stuff. So when you do learn it, you would just have to, however we can, create a community where we share this information, or we have someone that knows this information that is at a reasonable price to give you this information, because getting this information is not free. And maybe I didn't pay to find out that I have to do certain things and not pay as much taxes as I've done in the past. And I'm talking upwards of 60K. You have to write a check to the IRS that's just crazy to me. I was thinking about it like a few years ago. I wasn't making 60K a year. Why am I writing a check for 60K?
Right.
But when I say, we have to be able to provide that at a reasonable cost, or just for people to know, put it out there. It's because and no one's going to do it for free. And it's because sometimes we say, oh, I figured it out, but guess what? How I figured it out. I was 66K deep. That's how I figured out. How do I make it better? So next year I'm at 50K maybe, you know what I mean? Or I can buy a vehicle, and instead of paying the 66K, I've just paid 40K, and I have something to show. So, yeah, it's just, I've learned by a lot of errors. Nobody's here to teach you about taxes. I don't know personally. I don't know anyone in my family or close friends now, yes, that ever paid 60K in taxes. So when I bumped into that issue, I had no one to run to, and all I had was my tax guy. And I'm probably, at the time I didn't have a CPA. He was like, what, are you sure? Like, what is this? What are these figures? And I'm like, I don't know. How much? And then I called him like 3 weeks later, like, how much am I getting back? 14, 10, how much? I got stuff to do. And he's like, he said, hey girl, I got to get you somebody else to help you with the taxes. I can't, because he doesn't know. So that's a big thing as well. So I'm happy you're doing this. I'm happy you're gaining all this information to help people. I come to you with questions all the time because I still don't know. I'm fixing dirty trailers. I do a lot of the work myself. I enjoy doing it. People ask me why I do it. And I get that question all the time, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy learning. And every time I get better at it, I'm more proud of myself. I have a zillion pictures, how much better I've gotten each time. So I'm never going to be the boss that sits around a desk. I don't like it. I've been doing desk jobs in the military and before that, and I like to be hands-on. So yeah, I'd rather be tiling a backsplash or putting down flooring than actually figuring out how to not pay Uncle Sam. I'll pay someone to do that for me. So it's good you're doing this. This is your thing. You like this stuff. You've always been passionate about helping people, and that is absolutely awesome.
Well, I appreciate that. And doing that is awesome because I don't want to put up any backsplashes. I don't want no flooring. I'm fine with paying whomever, because if contractors need jobs, hey, y'all want to get paid to do this, I got y'all. Yeah. I don't need to make 70K. I will make my 40. I'll give out 30 to whomever is doing whatever. Good job, y'all. I'll see y'all next time.
Yep.
That's where I'm at. But that's good. That's the balance that's just needed. Everybody has their part. So just to wrap this up, if you had any wise, great words that you could give to somebody listening to this, after hearing, what you do and your story and all that stuff, because they're like, kind of like you were saying, maybe they don't have those people around them, so they don't believe that they can go and do stuff outside of their 9 to 5, go make, generational wealth for their kids or their kids' kids or anything like that. What would you say to them?
It just takes one idea. It takes one idea. It takes one little thought that you've always had that you just don't know. And I know it sounds cliche. It's just like, oh yeah, one idea. No, it takes one idea. It doesn't have to be something that you have to do day to day like me. Not everyone is cut out for this. I didn't think I was, but it's just that one idea. Maybe I'm good at taxes. I am good at marketing. I have a great social media presence. Whatever it is, whatever strengths you have, just take advantage of that. I've seen people on TikTok live making $4,000 a night playing games like it's a competition. I'm doing the math instantly. They're on 7 days a week, 30 days a month. Okay, 4K a night. How much? So just whatever talents you have, whatever you think you're good at, whatever you think, whatever you're passionate about. Once you're passionate about it, just do it. Just do it. Don't. I hate to tell people, because you have people that are deep thinkers that are thinking, okay, what could go wrong? But it's a billion things that could go wrong, and it's gonna go wrong. But you got to do it. You have, because that one right. My first deal went wrong. It went wrong. I lost $9,000. It went wrong. It was terrible. And I, other than my paycheck, that $9,000 was what I had. I probably had another $3,000 if something had happened to me and my kids. But I didn't stop. I just felt passionate about it, and I walked away from that deal with nothing back. I lost my $9,000, but I kept going because I knew I was passionate about it. So it's gonna go wrong, but it's gonna go right as well. So you just have to take that time out and just think about, what do I have to give now so I can get what I want? And y'all could hit me up too. See what I'm saying? If you want any, I'm just me. I don't have the right words. I don't know what I'm doing half the time, but if it's something that I know that I can do and how I should do it, I'm always open to giving information. And I don't have a big social media presence. I don't have the time, and I don't know how people keep up with posting. I forget to take the photos sometimes, or to do what I want to do to blow up. I want to blow up too on TikTok. I want to make money off that, but I forget to I have to actually take the photos and get up a little bit.
Somebody.
Huh?
You can hire somebody.
I should. I can hire my daughter, because she's all the trends. But yeah, you guys can hit me up anytime. I guess Darius will put the.
Yep, I got it. Yep, we're gonna throw her TikTok on there.
Yeah,
Instagram on there, maybe Facebook, and her phone number if you want to reach out or do any business with her. So that'll be it. Thank you, Kerr. I appreciate you taking time out.
Appreciate you, boss.
Yep.
This guy was my supervisor, bro. He was my first supervisor. He got it. He told me to buy a house a long time ago. And
back in the day,
I thought about everything why I shouldn't and not why I should. And
right, that's what
my biggest regret since. I would have been up. Trust me, if I bought in Tampa when you told me.
Oh yeah, Tampa.
I would have been. If I have one regret, guy, he should have asked me that. If I have one regret, and it's not buying when he told me to buy.
Oh no! But it's everybody does everything when it's their time. There's still tons of stuff that I have not done that I still should have done years ago. So we just gotta roll with it and start doing it now, and we're gonna be we good. But now she got a whole huge beautiful house in Tampa. Don't worry about her. She good. All right. So that will be it. Once again, I'm Darius Lester, and this is Mammoth Money Mindset. And this is Take Your Time with Kerr. Thank you.
Bye. Peace.